right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sunday Backcap. This is Misfit and I'm with Kel. Kel, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing pretty well. You know,
Uh,
just trying to pretend that there wasn't even a football game played here in this town. Well,
yeah.
I don't even if you did, I can barely even call that a football game. But,
Yeah, that was
what else is new for the past 20 years?
well, yeah. Week
But
one,
hey, we
two.
got some really good Overwatch games today, so
Yeah, exactly. We got that stuff. At least we had that. You
yes.
know, playing anything this week, or because I know you kind of were taking a break from Overwatch, playing anything different.
Yeah, I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders on my Switch. Uh, Well, actually, I haven't even really been getting to play it the past couple of days because my girlfriend just kind of took it over. Like
Happens.
I started playing it and she's like, "Oh, that game looks really cool. I want to try it." And now she's like
No, get
15
out.
hours ahead of where I am.
No, get out. Go play
Like,
Overwatch or something.
no, I want to keep playing.
I've been playing some Overwatch. Played a little. I've been playing TFT.
Yeah.
I'm grinding up a little bit in there. I love that game. I'm not great by any stretch, um, but I'm learning. I mean, I've only been playing it for 2 weeks, and I'm up into the middle of bronze. I just started playing ranked too. I didn't like wait to
Yeah. I
figure the
mean,
thing out. And
sometimes
it was
that's
kind
the
of
best way
it is, but it was
because then
kind
you
of
learn the
dumb.
actual game. Like I kind of wish I had done that with Overwatch because it took me so long to like really truly understand like the actual game and like what you're supposed to do.
Right,
And I
right,
think that really set me back a lot on my main account.
yeah, um, yeah, me too. Well, and then you get into the first couple times you play comp, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Playing Junkrat, man." What's wrong with playing Junkrat?
Right.
It doesn't fit into this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Quick Play and play Junkrat for a
Yeah.
while. Bye.
Yeah.
um, no, but anyway, so let's. We had a fantastic week of Overwatch for sure. I mean,
Oh my God.
and look, this is one of those things, guys. This is one of those scenarios. I keep saying it like hockey. This is when you want to show your people what esports is all about. Show them the Overwatch League playoffs.
Yes.
These
Yes.
matches were even the ones that were kind of quote unquote bad. They were still like on a razor's edge of winning or losing a map.
Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, even like today, all of the matches they were well played for the most part. We saw some people we didn't think we were going to see, which
Hmm.
we're going to dive into a lot of that in a little bit. But first, only real bit of news, like pertinent news that we want to talk about just for a quick second. Mineral, the former coach of the Mayhem, is now going to be the coach of the Boston Uprising.
Yeah. So does is this putting Huck as as just GM now, I'm assuming?
Yeah, well, they had another coach. They let him
Oh, they
go. Yeah,
yeah.
but I could see that. Um, the thing with Mineral and I got on him a lot, and I think watching his streams, I mean, the guy's super bright, super intelligent. He knows a lot about this game, and
Hmm.
I think with the Mayhem, it was that familiarity with the players where it just breeds this. It turns out, and it turns it bad eventually. You're all
Yeah.
friend. Sometimes being friends with the coach and stuff like that is kind of not the best. And
Yeah, absolutely. Like you
and
don't want like you don't want to be best buds with guys that you have to leave basically. Like
yeah,
there's a very fine line with that. And once it gets like it's all great and good when things are going well, but once things start to go poorly,
they
then like
just
trying to tell them that, like
yeah to
how
reel
to
it
do
back in.
things and like it just creates sticky situations
Yeah,
and it just ends up creating more problems than it helps
at
kind of
all.
build
Yeah,
chemistry. Like it just kind of actually erodes chemistry after a time.
yeah, exactly. Um, but I think it might be a good change for them. He's got a bright mind. We'll see what they do. What they do as far as rosters go. I mean, they're bound to do some changes. I mean, we didn't see Aim God for like the last half of the season, and apparently he was
Right.
unhappy and all that. We'll talk more about that in a couple of weeks. Um, But let's dive into why we're here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So day one of this week, we had not quite a nail biter, but a really good game between Seoul and Vancouver. And
yeah,
there was never a point where you really felt like Seoul was going to lose, or like Seoul was completely out of it, and like this is just over.
right. They were. It was close. It was competitive the whole time.
It was.
And there was a lot of. I mean, it was 4-2, but Seoul showed up, and
They did.
it was one of those things where people didn't think they were going to show up. We were kind of like, I think they're better than people are giving them credit for, but I don't think they're going to win this match, in particular.
Right.
It was just one of those scenarios. Vancouver's more adaptive than a lot of people. They're like, a lot of people think they're a goats team, but I mean, if you watched it, they're just filthy on every hero, and they brought in Tizzy.
Yep, exactly. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, they have that versatility, and when you can take out your main tank and bumper and put in a guy like Tizzy, and it be just a seamless transition,
right,
that says so much about your team and your organization as a whole.
Aim God's out looking for that girl in Aruba. Awesome trench foot. Is he looking for the killer Nicole Brown Simpson too?
Oof.
Don't want to upset.
He's the one that drafted Andrew Luck.
Oh God. Fantasy football drafts at their finest. But Seoul is. They did what they did, but Vancouver, they look fantastic.
They really did.
And Hacksaw won the Rookie of the Year. I suppose we should talk about some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna spend a lot of time on it right now, but
yeah. Hacksaw winning Rookie of the Year, and I mean, he proved why he was in this game.
Oh yeah. That guy's one of the most versatile players in the league. Best Brig in the league. Mm-hmm. Probably top 3 Genji. Top 3 Doomfist. Top 3 Mei. I mean,
and that's the thing is, like, it's such a crowded field, and he still stood above the rest. Because I mean, think of how many rookies we had. I mean, it's only year 2.
Yeah. I mean,
and he had 8 expansion teams. Like, there's a lot of rookies, so it's basically like almost like a second MVP award.
Yeah,
like it's almost like runner-up MVP.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I see why they didn't have him on the MVP ballot.
You're right. Yeah.
So they have the Rookie of the Year. They do what they do, and they're just. And Janu was above average on Sigma, I'd say.
Yeah,
He's one of the better. I mean, we'll dive into some more of who we thought was the best Sigmas, and and we're not talking about that fucking douche cannon today. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Stop playing Bastion. You're not trolling a fucking match, for God's sake. You're fucking pros.
Yeah.
Play fucking something else. For crying out loud.
I do agree with Trenchfoot about Haxel, and why they will beat New York is because Haxel is a better Doomfist than Libero, and I agree with that.
I do, but the one thing I said, don't sleep on New York. Remember that. You guys didn't hear it last week because I fucked the audio up. But
you were right, yeah.
Don't sleep on New York, because this is a defensive, kind of slow churning kind of thing with bursts. That's what they're good at. Taking advantages of like a little slip up, and then Sabiobi dives in with Reaper, and that's I think that match is going to be so fucking hype. It's not even.
Oh man.
This is what we wanted at the beginning of the year, not that garbage thing that happened at the play-in thing or the homestand. But
the most exciting part is because of the way that the playoffs are set up, we might get that matchup twice. That's the coolest part.
And we might get Shock Rain the rematch too.
Yes.
Which we're gonna dive into in a little bit. You guys are watching matches, so it's not like I'm surprising
Right,
you with anything.
we're not spoiling anything.
um,
So yeah, basically Vancouver
yeah,
just they took care of
they did what
business
they did.
against Seoul. Uh,
Now the
and
next
then
match,
yeah, the next
this
match.
was fantastic.
Yes, this was phenomenal. And the gladiators finally exorcised that demon, got
Yes.
that monkey off their back, whatever thing you want to say.
Yeah, monkey off their back, exorcise the demons, broke the chokehold, whatever.
Exactly.
Um,
They did it. They finally won a playoff game.
yeah, and they looked really good doing it. And
They
Surefour
did.
is the hard carry.
Oh my god.
Let's just leave it at that. And you know what? They did their things where they could tweak this meta. I mean, a lot of people think it's hard set, but you can do different things.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the
tweak
Pharah.
it,
You can,
but
you can put hydration on Sigma, or like things like that. There's just a lot of different pieces and parts you can move around. But Surefour is the linchpin to this team.
but do they really want hydration not on Doomfist is
Yeah.
the real question. Because
Well, that was the
my
thing,
God,
because the maps they had him on. Decay is good, but he's
Yeah.
not. I don't think he's on the level of
hydration.
hydration.
Yeah,
Um,
he's been elite,
Well-
and yeah, Surefour.
and
I'm gonna say
Bozzy,
it right now. I think he might. I think Surefour is the best Reaper in the league right now.
yeah. Well, SBB
At
looked
least
pretty
as
good.
far as hard carry.
Yeah.
For his team.
Saviobi looked really good on Reaper too. We'll talk more about them in a little bit. I keep
Yeah.
going back to Saviobi and the NYXL, but let's talk. The Spark looked good too, though.
They did. This was a really hard fought match, and
Yeah, this
for
was like
the-
one of
for the
those.
Spark to come back in the way that they did and almost take it,
Yeah,
coming down from 3-1, like that was really close. I mean, the Gladiators just had a really clutch final map,
yeah.
but
There was
the
just so
Spark
many,
made it very interesting up until the very end.
and we're seeing the like Bozzy or Bazzy, his Doomfist was really
Yeah,
filthy.
he was gross.
They were just all around. They were playing some good stuff. They get a little. I don't know how to put it. They just can't get it all together at the right time. It seems like they don't have the the exact like initiations and stuff like that. They just like they're like off. Like they're always doing the the convalescence just a little bit late. Or stuff like that. They're just always a little bit off.
Of a
At least in this
lot
match.
of talent, but they're like it's just not quite meshing the way it needs to.
I mean,
They're so close.
yeah,
But yeah, like they have the talent, they just don't have that that
elite.
cohesiveness
I mean,
that all these other teams do. Like they're really good and they're making the right moves.
They make a
they're just
crucial mistake.
slightly off time.
yeah,
And then there's like when they make mistakes, they make them at the worst possible time.
yeah, exactly. God damn, Trenchfoot, 4:30 to watch F1. That's hardcore.
That's dedication.
Yeah. Then football and OWL. That's what I did all day, much to the chagrin of my wife. So what are we doing today? She's like, oh. Well, we live in Cleveland, so I'm like, you're not going to brunch anywhere today.
Oh no.
Unless you're planning on hanging out with a bunch of people in brown and orange, which she does not like sporting events, like or going to a place where people watching. She likes going to live games, but when you go to a bar and there's 9 million people watching a game, she just wants to go have a few drinks and have fun.
Yeah.
And that's not fun to her. So understandable. Sometimes it's not for me either. But yeah, the Gladiators they proved something though in this
They
one.
did. That they can win a game and they can win a playoff game. I'd like to see them continue that. They weren't able to do it today, but I don't think anybody expected them to beat Vancouver. But they still have a shot.
Yeah, they do. But sorry, I'm looking at YouTube chat and it's interesting. Anyway, let's jump into. All right, so we had day one exciting. Now, day 2, we had the first match was an eye opener.
Yes.
Everybody went in there with the I don't know what to expect from New York. They're going to be kind of meh. And, well, London, ripped through this meta. They were kicking everybody's ass and all that. And then this match happened where if they didn't have Profit, that match would have been over in about 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. They looked terrible, London, in this match. They got 4-1, and I don't even think it was that close.
No, London looked bad. Like,
yeah.
They looked completely out of sorts.
And
like,
they weren't ready for... They were not.
I don't know what it is. Like, they just didn't look like their normal selves. Like, they had some...
Well, and they put in guard instead of bird ring.
Yeah, which we still haven't gotten any
I haven't heard anything about
what
that.
What happened with that and why we were not getting any bird ring? Because, like, nothing against guard, but, like, he just doesn't have the chemistry that bird ring would with all of these other guys. Like,
yeah,
it's just it's a strange move that...
Yeah.
I mean, they were already struggling to get Quartermain in there and really getting him situated, and I think, like, they finally kind of started to hit their stride with him.
Yeah, and
then they throw in guard, and it just throws their chemistry all off again. And
yeah, and it's not like
they're going home.
Yeah, well, it's not like the heroes that Birdring needed to play. He was playing them bad. I thought he looked pretty good on Doomfist, actually, and he busted out McCree a couple times when he had to. When we had some Farah stuff going on. He was decent enough on Reaper. I didn't if he played him, but I just don't understand. This team is weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think Monte Cristo, someone posted on Twitter. They're like, what does London need to do? He basically said, keep Profit and
Gesture,
Profit and Gesture and Fury, and get rid of the rest. And maybe Badosin, I think he said.
Yeah.
Everybody else needs to go.
I agree.
I mean...
Because, like, even when Birdring was in there was times, like, thinking back to last year, like, this team, he was always that X factor of, like, if he's not there and he's not, like, popping off, then this team is sunk. Like, no matter how much Profit can carry or do anything, like, if Birdring's off, like, he takes that team down.
Yeah.
Like, so I think they just need a more consistent person. Like, they don't even need somebody who's an exceptional player that can carry, because they already have that with Profit. They just need somebody who's going to go in, execute their job, and just be able to work with the team.
Yeah. And their tank line, their supports were subpar.
Yes.
Minus Badosin. Badosin, there were some times when Badosin was absolutely going off. So I guess I'm saying...
Badosin definitely had some points.
I'm saying their main support player is terrible.
Yeah, Quartermain...
It was. Quartermain was subpar. Nuss wasn't doing anything.
Anytime they won a team fight, it was despite Quartermain, because he was always the first to die. You would see him die, but then you would see the rest of the team get killed. Like, you would see, like, he would be the first to die, but then, like, the rest of the other team starts to die, and you're just like, what the hell even happened? Like, I mean, like, I guess it worked out, but, like, how is your main healer dying this much?
Yeah, and I just don't think, as far as from a synchronization thing, I don't think it was working as well. Now, Nuts wasn't playing as good as he did last year, but sometimes synergy matters more than mechanical bullshit. You know what I mean? You can get around, all right, so he's not making picks, but the other guy's dying all the time. So what the fuck's the difference? In my mind, if this guy's works better with the group, put him in. I mean, maybe there's something we're missing with it, like maybe, Quartermain was better in scrims with them, maybe they had better communication, but when it came up to the stage, it didn't work as well.
It just fell apart. But I think the biggest thing is, like, they just that team chemistry just fell apart, and they couldn't get anything going. And I think they just really, really need to figure something out as far as the rest of their roster, because
Yeah,
they have an elite tank line. They have one of the best DPS in the league, but
they need to
that's
make some
that's where
adjustments.
their strengths end. And honestly, like they, Bedosin he's a very good player, but if they can upgrade, I think they should,
Yeah, I
because
mean,
there are upgrades available.
maybe you
And
just keep the tank line in profit
yeah,
and just go back to square one.
yeah,
Well,
and
square whatever. I
that's
mean,
really what
that's
it
not
is.
like a terrible start to any team. I mean,
No, no, I think any team would be like,
best
all right,
main
if you could
tank.
start with three players, who would you start with? I don't think any, and like you handed somebody that, I don't think they're going to be like, no, I can't build anything
Yeah,
like this.
I can't work around this. This is trash.
Yeah, no, they can definitely do
Um,
that. So, but on the
let's
flip
talk about New
side,
York for a minute.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the big question, or the big key is like, as bad as London looked,
damn did New
how
York look
much of
good.
that was New York just manhandling them and just giving them nothing?
Yeah, and maybe just maybe, New York is sick of people like me and you and Monte Cristo and everybody going, they're gonna fucking choke this away.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know what I mean? Just hearing that noise, you're just like, no, not this time. We're too good for that. Um,
Right.
but the way they were running their rotation was pretty good too. I mean, you saw a little
Mm-hmm.
Flower and Sabiobi, man, he's back to hard carry Sabiobi, like from
Yeah, he is.
stage one, stage two last year. I mean, he's
I would
been
definitely put Sabiobi as or it's probably like Sabiobi and Surefour as like 1A and 1B
yeah,
of
all underneath profit.
Reapers.
Well, I thought you were gonna say hard carry, so I was gonna say all underneath profit because
No, I'm just Reaper right now. Because I mean, Prophet was a really good Reaper, but
he,
I think
yeah, he wasn't as
he
good as
just wasn't able to hard carry as much as those two did.
yeah. But even when Sabiobi was playing that stupid cannon,
Oh God,
please can we
just
stop?
getting picks.
Yeah,
So frustrating.
it's really hard for a pro to get picks with that.
Yeah.
Through a ant matrix with a fucking mercy boosting you from behind.
Right.
You could two shot a fucking tank with a bastion.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, I mean they look good, and their Sigma play was fantastic. Mono was a little underrated, I thought.
Oh yeah, they're
Like the way everybody was
tank
like
line
going
in
gaga
general.
about other people playing Sigma. I thought he quietly was not. I wouldn't call it like he wasn't the best necessarily, but he was definitely the top three people that have been playing it the last few
But
last few days.
he made huge plays, or he made
Yeah,
plays when it mattered. It wasn't the big plays, but it was like
impactful stuff.
impactful plays. Yes, and like he was making the right space so his hard carries could
Could
do
do
their
what they
job.
do.
And setting up kills for Saviobi and Libero
Yeah, and so,
and everybody else. Like that excuse me. That's what he was doing best.
yeah.
And just both of their tanks, Meko and Mono, both.
Yeah, always. I mean, they're good when it seems like when they're in a meta where they kind of grasp the concept, they're really good.
And
Goats,
like,
they were okay. The last one, they were terrible.
yeah. Well, I think like we said, their ability to play in these like more defensive the defensive metas like double
Yeah,
shield and just kind of like wait and react is much more their wheelhouse than anything else.
yeah, and they were good with this whole halt punch thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the also Libero took the Doomfist on like kind of that defensive. Okay, so they got halted. He's like on the side waiting for the other Doomfist to go in with a punch and just kind of offsets the other Doomfist. There was a lot of just this is kind of their style that
Yes.
more the mental with as soon as they make a mistake, our mechanical god is going to go in and just destroy them. Um,
Exactly.
it's actually kind of frightening to see them play like oh yeah, I remember this team. like
Yeah.
back in stage 1 with
You're like,
Dive.
oh, hey, they're back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this just made things much more interesting. And yeah, I mean, New York, they've proven so far that they are right up there as a team to beat.
Yeah, because
And I'm so intrigued to see
yeah,
them play Vancouver. Holy crap!
that is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
So, I mean, let's move on to the we have the next up. We had the losers bracket.
Upset of the year.
Oh, that's right, the upset of the year first.
Yes.
Well, okay, I think we can stop calling it a C9 and call it a NRG9. At the end of this match.
Oh man.
Hey, took me a few days to come up with that one.
I like it.
A few minutes actually. No, it didn't take me that long. But that match was just insane. We got to see Gator for the first time since stage 1, maybe.
And wow.
Been grinded Sigma. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Is he probably like?
I'd say he's the best that I've seen playing Sigma.
The plays that he was making, the things that he was
just so
doing
smooth
with Sigma
too.
It was seamless.
Yeah, he had no wonky moments where he's like, "Oh crap!" Like there were so many team fights where he was like the only one left alive. Like, I'm doing my shit. You guys are all dead. I'm just gonna stay here and throw rocks at people.
Right, like, and times where, especially on King of the Hill maps, where he was the last one alive and able to keep the clock going and keep it ticking.
Yeah,
because he was the last one alive, but they just couldn't kill him. And he just got them those extra percentage points, and that just came up huge so many times. And it was things like that that really set him apart. And his abilities to survive, but still land impactful plays. Like, yeah, he was huge in this game.
Yeah, and the rest of the team came up huge in this game too.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco just basically fucked up on the last foot, or they would have been playing today instead of yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can say about that. I don't know. I just was watching and going, and all right, I'm just going to throw this out there. What the fuck is with Rialto and the biggest what the fuck moments of the season? We had the yeet grab from fucking Nene, where they had that fucking match won, and he just fucking flung that thing, trying to hit the Sombra. And then we had this. Damn. Because I was going, San Francisco's got this, and I was like, wait, what? They didn't touch the point? How do you not touch the point? And I think it was Moth, too. I think he bounced with Lucio, and I think he tried to bounce on the cart, and he just went over to the other wall.
Yeah,
it kind of felt that way, and it was just like, what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure it was Moth that was supposed to be on the cart at that moment, but he had to like peel for somebody else, and they just didn't communicate it properly of who needed to be where.
Which, I mean, honestly, in that split second of a thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's understandable, but damn, the rest of the match though. Other than that whole weird thing, and like Babyface stepped up, like watching these guys fucking step up on shit is awesome. Like, you're going, this is why I'm watching this. You're like watching a game like in the middle of fucking April, and you're like, wow, these guys look like trash.
And don't forget the unsung hero. Well, not really the unsung hero, like as much as we talked about Gator, like Erster continuing to prove
amazing.
that he is a top tier DPS, and no one. It's like very few are coming close.
Yeah, they're just. He's like in that top couple with Doomfist, and then he was playing some May as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like that in that Haxel
Doomfist,
range of
Farah, like just so many things that he was doing, and then
I agree with that Trenchfoot.
Dogman, phenomenal flex support and just insane Moira play.
Yeah.
Like, he was just making clutch plays left and right. And then our man Masa.
Yeah.
Still continuing to be one of the more underrated.
Lucio main supports.
Lucio's. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Dogman is like you can say what you want about playing Moira, but he does that. I like the way he does the. Occasionally he thinks about using the Covalescence, like if they need it for something. But when they're doing that, it's like, all right, going in, let's go, click, Q.
Yeah.
I mean, he saved it a couple times, but there's a lot of times because you get it so fast that, especially when they're playing like they are, where you're just throwing yellow orbs out all the time and using your right click.
Right. Well, I mean, just the fact that it goes through any and all shields is so huge, and
then
like,
with a supercharger, that thing is just that thing
stupid.
That's one of the underrated combos like that you could do like in this meta to like push forward, especially like on escort or hybrids.
It's a really good initiator too, especially when you get a character like Doomfist, and he can, like, if you get a tank to about half and you get a Doomfist on them, they're gone. Like, and then you have the play of Baby Bay doing what he was doing.
He was playing some really good Reaper, playing Symmetra, being like a troll and a half. With that, I mean, it's a little better than Dopey Cannon as far as like at least you have to do some things other than sniff glue and hit right click. I'm gonna keep fucking saying it and hate me. I don't care. The dumbest hero in the game.
But yeah, like I mean,
it's like
Atlanta was insane in this game, and I'm so happy for them to have pulled off what they did. It was incredible. But I mean, we can't not talk about how well San Francisco still played that game.
Fucking good, man.
It was the thing. Crazy. Like there was moments where I was like, oh my god, Sinatra just won this point by himself. Getting
his
like
Doomfist
was kill on Doomfist was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
And he manages. He's probably one of the guys that manages their cooldowns and like, but like really, really like expertly. But he's also not afraid to just fucking go in there and just wreck people. Well, I'm going to use all my cooldowns and kill maybe 1-2 guys, but when I go out, I'm going to have so many shields they're not going to be able to kill me.
Right.
So I can sneak out the back door, just kind of bounce out. And he's really good with the meteor strikes too, like being aggressive with them. A lot of people use him like in that, we're not gonna. I'm kind of using it to back out, or I'm gonna try to just take out one support. Like they would get a halt in. They were really good at that. You get the halt in, and then the meteor strike, or the gravitic flux.
Yeah.
And meteor strike into that.
Yeah, like their combos were unreal.
Yeah, I mean that stuff is deadly, and he was really so good at that. And they're just highly skilled at everything. They just had a moment. Yep,
it was just one wrong move, and that's like that it really is what it's coming down to. We're getting to those points where like, just one wrong thing costs you a game, and we saw the repercussions of that happening to them.
Yeah,
and London felt the full force of that. But before we dive into that, there's a couple of things we want to talk about before we talk about Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can talk. Yeah. So let's talk Seoul Hangzhou, and then we'll
dive into some other stuff that transpired in the in between.
Yes. So Hangzhou played Seoul, and Seoul got crushed.
Yeah, basically. They got worked. Seoul, Hangzhou stepped up their game. They're kind of odd. Like they're like it takes them. They're like a slow burn with a meta. They're like a slow burn, but once they get it, it's kind of like look out with Hangzhou. Because like if you think like stage 4, they lost the first 2 or 3 games, and they're like, oh, well, this is how you do this. Okay. And then they just reel off like 4 wins in a row. You know, it's odd, but I mean, I like the way they played. I mean, Seoul just they played decent, but they didn't play good enough.
Yeah, like they were good, but they just got outmatched at that point. And
Marvel
as we talked about Hangzhou in the last game and like the mistakes that they made and all that, they did correct a lot of those things, and they were cohesive enough that it worked out for them.
And I think Seoul was pressing.
Yes.
And we'll dive into some of that. I think they got really like not nervous, but they got that gotta fucking win this thing, and like got too like in the moment they just got too worked up, in a negative way. We can't lose this. I don't want to lose this. When you start saying
got too tense type of thing, like and
you could see it.
Yeah.
And Rujehan did he was fucking doing work on Moira in that fucking match.
Yeah, he really was.
Dude is awesome at Moira, and he's awesome at a lot of things. So that brings us to the next topic.
Yes.
So we've had our first matches where teams are out.
Yeah.
They're done. And we had we have the interview, and we have the yay, and then we have the behind the thing, like behind the server, weird. Looks like they're on a Borg ship fucking interview area that they have. It's like they took them into the server closet.
Yeah, it really does. Like
it's kind of weird, kind of cool. I don't know. And
that's like where the IT guys go to cry.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Rouge Hong went to cry. But hey, man, like everyone giving him shit. Like
I have no time for people giving him shit.
No, absolutely not. Like these guys, this is their livelihood. Like they put so much into this.
There's a lot of emotions, and there's a lot riding on. Like especially with that team, there's a lot riding on these playoffs and stuff. They're supposed to be
so much expectations. Like they are the representatives of Korea, and they just haven't been able to get it done. So like
reasonable or unreasonable expectations.
Yeah.
And look, that dude was genuinely upset, and I have no problem with them showing it.
No, I don't either.
I've watched sports since I was a fucking kid, and I've cried when my team's lost, and I wasn't even on the field.
Right. I can't even imagine the emotions that are going through these guys as they're playing. Like,
and there's a lot on the line. There's prestige, there's money, there's all this stuff, and then there's all this shit of I let all these people down, and I let and it happens. You're going to be upset, and and there's people saying that he's done, and there's people like even like us are like is there a point where he says what, I'm going to start being a coach? We've even said that.
We have.
You're talking about like one of the greatest players in this game, professionally, and he had a moment of emotion, and so did Toby. These guys don't know if they're going to be there next year.
And with them, with the way that things have gone for them, it is very likely that this team will not be the same as it is. It will be a dramatically different team next year.
But if he wants to play, I think he'll
shot. And for it to happen, like it's a real bummer for them. So I totally understand why he had those reactions.
Yeah, and they thought they had this meta, in a good spot, and they got beat twice.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Now let's get on to the other. I have no problem with people crying. Now, the stuff where I start getting weird is this is where I start being old man misfit. The fucking safe space. Don't do it. It's mean. No, it's not mean. You know what? And I was talking to Kel earlier. My background was not great. I was never allowed to do shit like that. Like literally not allowed. Like that was weak. You know what? It showed me it's not things like that. There's somebody out in that crowd that's been being taught the same thing, that you're not allowed to show this fucking emotion because you're a puss or something like that. And you have someone in your ear telling you that. No, you're not. You're a human. It's a human emotion. You're allowed to be upset. And it's showing,
especially in that moment, like right after it happens too. Like,
I think they need to. I kind of am for like the poster press conference, like the 2 seconds after. I'm not a big fan of. In anything, that's where you get bad reactions.
Talk to the winners. Like that's when you want to do your winners. You want to get that like, that winning high. Like holy crap, we just won. Totally cool with that. And most sports do that.
Yeah,
they
give them a chance to settle,
and then you want the other team. You want to let them go get a chance to settle, kind of gather themselves, get out whatever they need to, so they can come and talk and do what they need to.
Right.
And sometimes those emotions are still very raw.
Yeah.
But it at least gives them a little bit of time to process things.
Right.
Um,
Like more than 2
so
seconds. You know,
yeah,
like I'm a big NASCAR fan, and I always love it when someone gets like they're like in a tight situation, someone gets knocked out of a race, and you know they interview them like 2 seconds after, and they just like lose their fucking mind.
yeah,
Like, well, yeah, dude just lost. You know, he was in fourth, it got knocked out, can't go back in the race because his car's totaled, and he just lost out and probably a chance to win the fucking race. Yeah, he's mad at that dude.
yeah,
Like absolutely gonna just go off. I mean, they want these. I mean, you want some of these reactions.
yeah.
Like I was saying though.
Absolutely.
Like even for me, when Cam Newton lost to the Broncos, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's being shitty." No, he's being real.
Yeah, he was.
And Rouge Hahn was being real, and so was Toby. And
Exactly.
I have no
And
problem with that.
I really feel like also this would be kind of going to a different aspect of it. Like, it's these types of things that would also maybe get us some answers as to why a guy like Birdering isn't playing.
Yeah. Like
And we get
Trenchfoot said a little
answers to
bit
that.
earlier, you know, we need an Adam Scheffner-y kind of, you know.
I mean, that too, but honestly, because that's usually a question like, okay, well, what was your game plan behind not playing Birdering? Or
Right.
like, what's going on with that? Like, what made you decide to do this?
Or
that
even
kind of
like early in the match.
Right.
No, he shouldn't have because he lost to a better team. Von Miller is God. Sorry. Had nothing to do with my offense in that game. That was
Definitely not
Von Miller,
anything to do
Derek
with your
Wolf.
offense.
Von Miller, Derek Wolf. Well, C.J. Anderson a little bit.
Yeah,
A little
I mean, you scored some. You scored points, so
Yeah.
you got that going for you.
Grandpa got the ball down the field a couple of times.
Yeah.
Basically, Von Miller just ate Cam Newton's lunch.
He really did.
But anyway, back to this whole thing. So, all right, now we can kind of like progress a little bit here. So we move on, and I guess Slasher wasn't watching all the broadcast and said Jay Hung is the biggest bust in OWL. Didn't realize what was going on. Which, first off, stop baiting.
Right.
You
Come
know,
on, man. You're better than this. Like,
dude, and you know he's not the biggest bust. I can list fucking 15 people. Someone we've been talking about a lot tonight, in fact, that wasn't playing for London.
yeah. There's that. I mean,
There's Roar.
You could
There's
probably say, you know,
half
all
the
of
Mayhem.
your team last year.
What about the Mayhem
Yeah, exactly.
last year? You know, I mean,
Like,
Jay Hung, and here's the thing. There was the Apex thing. He just is in a different scenario right now.
and the reason that
And
they
I don't think
lost
he's
is
like
not
the-
because of Jaehong. Like,
Yeah.
it's the people around Jaehong. Like, that's like calling LeBron a bust after the 2007 finals.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, some people
no,
did.
The only reason they're there is because of LeBron. Look at the guys around him. The fact that he even dragged that team to a finals is what's incredible. Like,
Skip Bayless probably said he was a bust after that.
that was probably the time when Skip Bayless liked him, and then he had to flip because Stephen A. Smith started to like him. So,
Yeah.
you know. And then freaking Shannon Sharp now.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hate all that garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skip.
Skip Bayless. Skip. The only person that's ever been a living embodiment of the fucking logo on their helmet. Other than the quarterback of that team.
Yeah. Right. Kwame Brown.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably.
I could go over like 1,000 of them. Fucking
so
Ryan
many.
Leaf. Any quarterback your team has drafted in the last 20 fucking
any quarterback
years.
our team has drafted. Justin Gilbert.
Any team my team's drafted in the last 20 years.
Well, actually, really any first rounder we've had in the past 10 years, minus Myles Garrett and Baker Mayfield. Well, those are still kind of up for debate, but you know, they're at least on a team.
Yeah. All right, this game is beyond stupid.
Oh God. Well, Gostkowski's gonna kick me some field goals and extra points, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Brady's just fucking.
Oh, he's mad. somehow. For some reason, I don't like.
Well, because somebody says something and it's just all automatically on the bulletin board and fuel.
Right. Like.
And this is without Antonio Brown. They're doing
shit about this team. Like, ugh.
He's just throwing a ball in the air and it's landing somewhere into somebody's hands because, well, they're playing the Steelers, who have no defensive backfield anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, off of football. Okay, so
as far as Slasher goes, like, it was just a really, he
kind of backed down on it. All right,
he did,
but it was still bait.
It's just like, dude, you got to be better about that kind of stuff. Like, you can't just throw that kind of shit out there, and like Trenchfoot said earlier, like, we need a Schefter or somebody like that, and Slasher kind of is that for this league. But when you say shit like that, you lose a lot of credibility with a lot of these guys, and no one's going to tell you anything when you start saying things like that. So,
yeah, and I don't consider him a bust because he was ripping up Apex and all that, and he was getting paid in a professional scenario. It just wasn't Overwatch League, and there's still guys that are larger busts than him in the Overwatch League. I mean,
I would agree that Flower is a bigger bust, but at the same time, now you've got Flower contributing too.
Yeah.
He helped New York, and he looked really good at
what about someone like
weekend.
Effect?
Effect?
I mean, that was a whole different scenario. I mean, you can just keep going. I mean,
Effect, XQC.
Yeah.
Think of all these different guys that aren't even playing in the league. Like, it's just a ridiculous statement.
Yeah.
In general,
it was bait for everybody,
Yeah.
And it's always the kick the guy when it's down. Yeah, it happens in other sports too. I mean, you look at someone like Peyton Manning when he continually loses the playoffs. They're like, yeah, he can't get over the hump, or name the team.
Oh, Peyton Manning can't get over the hump. It's like, well, yeah, because he never had a defense behind him.
Yeah, and he had to play fucking Belichick and Brady every year.
Right.
But it happens all the time. This team can't do this, and this player is this. Sometimes you gotta look back. A bust is a total, like, we picked this guy up, or we bought this guy in esports or whatever. Like, we drafted this guy in the NFL, and he was a total shit show.
Yeah, like when we had all these expectations for him because he did this and this other thing, and he was so good, and then he comes in and did nothing.
Yeah,
that's a bust.
When
and
your skills aren't,
that just cannot be said about Jae Hong at all.
Yeah, and you can't call him a.
Cool.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
I will be later. But so yeah.
I gotta get up early, so not me.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, Slasher. He was a dumbass this weekend.
That was a dumbass comment, but it accomplished what it was meant to accomplish. It was,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's like, to me, that's like, honestly, what he's saying about Jae Hong is kind of like saying, well, this is like extreme connotation here. Like, when fucking MJ went to the Wizards. Well, he's a bust for the Wizards. Well, no, he's just not what he was 5 years ago. Jae Hong's not the same guy that he was, but he's still a leader on that team. He still plays extremely well. He still plays above, most other. I mean, flex supports. I can name about 10 that are fucking. Oh God, Trenchfoot's on a roll now. Anyone the Jets have drafted.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into Sunday.
Yeah.
So we didn't talk San Francisco's beatdown of London, but do we really need to? Because we talked about London enough.
Yeah.
And they're falling apart, and San Francisco just came out.
San Francisco's pissed off.
Yeah. They're like, okay, no fucking around anymore. Until the last map, we're gonna fuck around, and we're still gonna beat you.
Yeah.
Like, just straight disrespecting them.
Yeah, we're just
we're gonna put on our B team, and they're gonna mash you.
Yeah, you're just gonna be fucked. Oh man,
That was just gross.
yeah, that was, oof, man. And the more I watch, we're talking about top-notch Doomfist players. Oh, and Sinatra got the MVP as well.
Yes.
That was on Friday.
Friday? Yeah, Friday. I mean, yeah, not really that much of a surprise.
No, but he's showing it too. He's
really
more
is.
versatile than even he gave us credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Or we gave him credit for, I should say. But like his Doomfist is just absolutely disgusting.
It really is.
He just was like eating them alive. It was just scary and sad.
Oh my god!
All at the same time, it was just fucking bad.
Anytime London got any kind of advantage, Sinatra was just like, "No, that's mine," and just fisted his way right through their team.
Yeah, it was like a fucking hentai movie.
Oh my god! All right, so
now that we've said that,
let's move on to Sunday.
Yeah, let's move. Oh boy, today was fucking great.
Yeah,
this was some good shit.
It really was. Like, and as much as like, I wasn't expecting the Gladiators to beat Vancouver, but man, they really held their own for a while in this game.
They did. They could go toe to toe with them. It's just that there are times with Vancouver, and they did this. They've been doing it all year, where they just I don't want to maybe flip that switch, or they hit another gear that just no one gets to. Really, the Shock are the only other team that does it. And they just are like, oh, we are not losing this motherfucker. This is done. We're gonna end this now.
Yeah.
And they look great, and I mean, Tizzy is doing a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole team is like, they have this synergy that, I mean, they've been playing. They have the longest history probably of any team playing right now.
Yeah,
I mean, when you go back
as
to
far
Apex,
as like a complete roster, they've probably been playing together the longest.
Yeah, and Tizzy was a part of that at one point, I think. I want to say I'm bad on the history of contenders and Apex and all that stuff, but so even in this match, Sureforce still looked good.
My God,
that dude,
he was just gross.
They better sign that dude to a multi-year, and we also need an Adam Scheffner for that shit.
Yes.
I want to know what the fuck these guys' contract statuses are. I know there's like all this, well, they're on this, but you know what? I want the transparency of that. I want to know, okay, so Sureforce locked up. What are they going to do with hydration?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. I want to like be able to dive into some of that shit in the off season, but you can't because you don't know any of it. I mean, they can keep it private if they want, I guess, but you know what? It keeps people talking about the league. That's the whole point. It's so
much more interesting when you know those details and you know how long a guy's going to be there, and you can speculate about what they can do with them and all of that stuff. It's part of it's part of any league, and like I get a hesitation to not want to reveal that, but at the same time, like it's just for the betterment of your organization. It's just the better way to go.
And also, like, there's reasons why, like, people talk about the NBA, when you get in the offseason, the NFL, and Major League Baseball to an extent, because you're going, okay, so, the Browns have Mayfield signed for, he's got his rookie contract, he's going here. They just signed Odell Beckham for this much. What are they going to do with the cap, and where are they going to fit these guys in? Where are these price ranges that these guys that they need to put in there are? I mean, we're going off on a little tangent here, but I want some of that stuff because I want to talk about it because it keeps the league relevant when you're not playing.
Exactly, and
that's important,
really
to keeping the hype.
Yes, especially with something like this where it's so fickle and like the game changes so much too. That like kind of knowing those things and kind of knowing what these guys can do and figuring out the meta, like there's even more layers to it than you're going to get even with other sports, because other sports your game is not going to change nearly as much.
They're not going to NFL, they're not going to decide, okay, so we're nerfing
passes are not
we're nerfing quarterbacks,
Yeah, quarterback.
You're only allowed to take
ratings
three.
are all going to go down across the board.
3-step drops are only allowed.
Yeah.
Wide receivers get a buff though. They have a bubble around them, so defensive backs can come within 5 yards.
But in order
It's close to that.
He's throwing some power creep, and the the cornerbacks now have extendy arms that can go through bubbles.
Okay, the secret power creep right now is the nose tackle, because everybody's ignoring them, and they can just burrow into the line and just devastate a quarterback with the 3-step drop.
So the secret power creep is Aaron Donald.
Watch out for Aaron Donald to be meta. Oh.
Aaron Donald is the new meta. Yes. All right. So with this game in general, like Vancouver, I mean they did their business.
But we got to see some cool stuff like the Farah play.
Yes.
Hydration and fucking Haxel, another hero that Haxel's really good at. Yeah. Big shock there.
Right. Good God. What isn't that guy good at?
But the best part, though, I think, of that match was that stupid, sneaky fucking barrage that Hydration crept. Like, they were on Rialto.
Yes.
They're up on that fucking high ground. I don't know. Well, when you're playing with an Orisa and Sigma, you got all kinds of yelling and fucking rock slamming noises and all that. The Farah just, like, you can kind of sneak around behind him.
You really can.
And then he just kind of floated.
Hear those hover jets.
I just like how he kind of like floated up there. He's like, "Hello, okay, fine, barrage."
Like if Sigma's not using any of his abilities, he's quiet. But in this league, he's the loudest motherfucker out there because he's just pulling my shield back, putting my shield out, shield out, shield out, shield.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these guys' shield placements and uses.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Absurd. Like I tried, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not even gonna bother even trying to replicate any of this because.
Yeah, because they're doing like this. Much. They do like this. It's a rhythm. It's a boom boom. Like push it out, shots, pull back, push it out, shot. Like it's the
push it out, move up, push it out, move up.
Yeah.
Pull back, like, and it's just that rhythm. Like the way that they take space and they use it is really incredible.
Yeah.
And like. Yeah, it just makes it so loud because he says something every time you do it.
And then he says, whatever, I sing for my life or whatever the fuck that is when he ults.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, sometimes you get that part of the voice line, sometimes you get the what is that melody, like, depending on who's doing it.
And then you get Myra, hail to my ult, and then... it's like when they do those stupid, like, breaks, it's like... Every stage, it's like a different set of fucking voice lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we had 2 stages of...
we don't have the... Yeah, well, we had 3
Rally
stages
to me.
Rally to me and nerf this.
Yeah. Nerf this and the graviton, whatever she says in Russian.
Yeah. Now I want to go back and remember what Jeff said they used to call that ult. In their like planning days or whatever, but yeah,
it was a fun match, and Gladiators dropped down.
They did.
So,
but we expected that at some point.
Yeah.
There was no way that the Gladiators, just knowing this team and just how they've been, there was no way that they were gonna make it out or make it through completely unscathed.
Yeah.
They're going to lose a game.
Yeah.
This was the game that was most likely they're going to lose. Now we get the last chance for them coming up on, what is it, Thursday or Friday?
It will be, let me look at that.
Thursday. They're playing San Francisco.
Yes.
Which
not an opportunistic draw for sure.
No. Good luck.
Yeah. GLHF.
Yeah.
All right,
but I mean, I'm not going to completely count the Gladiators out.
No.
But yeah, I'd be terrified to face San Francisco.
Yes, definitely. I mean, San Francisco showed they're a little vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
absolutely.
They lost. Yeah, it was their fault. They did mash London, but London was just all of a sudden not good again.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, that's going to be a. All the matches are going to be good.
Yeah, they really are. Let's talk about the last match of today, though. We had Atlanta, New York. Atlanta.
They did what they could.
They really did what they could.
I mean, that match was like a razor's edge, though.
It really was.
There was like a couple little things where it would have been. They could still be playing.
Yeah, and really, what won it overall for New York was their main carry, Sabiobi, just clutching out wins.
Yeah, and Mono too. Meko. I'm sorry.
Meko, yeah.
I always do that with them. Can you guys do more than one letter to separate your fucking names, for crying out loud?
Right.
No, but the way, like we kept saying earlier, this meta is playing towards their style, and the way that they went into it was the way they were playing today was blown away. I was like, whoa, okay, they are not fucking around. It's not really normal New York where you kind of get that pensive stuff. They were playing defensive, but they were like defensive like a rattlesnake. You know what I mean? It was like
okay, you got too close.
Bam. Yep. Bam.
Yeah.
And Atlanta still played, we've been saying Atlanta played good, and one of the guys that has been stepping up too is Baby Bay, and he in fact today he created the greatest nightmare ever created in the Overwatch League, and that's they ran the other team's running a Bastion and he's playing Ashe.
Ooh, yeah.
So it is quick play now. The Overwatch League is officially quick play. We had Mercy. We had a Mercy pocketed Ashe and a Mercy pocketed Bastion going against each other. Hooray!
Oh, God. Yeah.
But the Ashe actually was a good pick. I do back that. But I mean, they were doing some sneaky stuff. They kind of had to, like they ran that little bit of Junkrat Symmetra against that, and on Hanamura. Hanamura was. I was like, they could play more Hanamura. I wish people would pick that more, but
Yeah. I would like to see that a little more.
They definitely like picking Busan to start off.
Yes, they do. My God, do they do.
And it's amazing when you go into the game and you play, you get Kings Row, Busan, all the maps that they're playing, Rialto.
I haven't played all that much in the past couple of months, but my God, do I or the past week or two, but yeah, I feel like that's literally all I play.
I mean, when we play together, we play Busan at least once, maybe twice.
At least.
Twice a night.
At least once or twice.
Although we're playing quick play and we get Hanamura, we just fucking back out. Nope.
No, we do that with Paris now.
Yeah. Because I lose my mind because they have that thing on Paris all the time.
Yeah. Especially attacking on Paris.
Ugh. That fucking stupid cannon. I can't stand that fucking character.
But yeah, I mean, New York just proved in this game that they are
for real. They're not fucking around. That was the thing I got out of it. They are not fucking. Yeah, you could see Atlanta coming back. There was Atlanta could have won a map here or there. They probably should have. They probably should have won on Kings Row.
Definitely some moments that they could have clutched out or just done things a little better.
I mean, I don't know if they could have clutched them out because they got out clutched.
Yeah,
I guess
that's true.
A couple of times. I mean, there were just a couple of plays here and there where we could be talking about a different thing, but
absolutely,
New York is finally playing like New York.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and they're doing it in the playoffs, and that should terrify everybody.
So, what do you call this stupid meta? Like rocks and
double shield, basically. Or
rock, schlock, and two smoking barrels. The schlock is for the idiot cannon.
That's it. I think you figured it out.
Yep, there you go. So one of my favorite movies is now. That's too much for them to say.
Yeah, right.
Well, the schlocky pick is
Is
Bastion.
Bastion or Doomfist.
Yeah. Rock, cock, and 2 smoking barrels then.
Oh man.
Oh no, now we're getting into fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
But no, that was I'm honestly, I'm kind of on the New York bandwagon right now. So we're gonna dive into what teams we think are the strongest that are left. Really quick, maybe give you a little tease like of where we're going on for Sunday or next weekend to get to Sunday. Obviously, our brackets are destroyed because
Yep.
they're not terrible. I was just like, yeah, I won the linchpin match. Oh, the rest of the team, I'm still ahead, but it's like, oh, Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Atlanta won, though. That's one of those things I was like,
Oh,
I was rooting for
That's
Atlanta.
one of those ones where you're just like, I'm not even upset.
My dog was not happy. I think he was. I'm gonna have to message the shock because he wasn't really watching. They wave. When he watches, they win.
Right.
It's true.
You're
It's
like,
weird.
okay, guys, Banner was watching today, so you
Yeah.
got this.
I'll just
Oh
take
no,
a
be
pic-
careful, he's not watching.
Yeah, he doesn't care right now. He's got a new toy from fucking BarkBox or something like that.
Right.
Because he destroys them in like 3 seconds. Maybe they could send their opponents like plushie, and he'll just tear it apart.
Oh god.
They just have to send a plushy finger. I don't really want them eating fingers because that would go into a different realm.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait,
want
they're
that.
playing the gladiators. I suppose I can get a lion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
but-
all right, strong.
Okay, so
With the teams we got left, I mean, we don't have
Yeah.
to rank them in any kind of order. From eye test.
I test. Man. So my S tier teams right now is New York, probably is my one. Then Vancouver and San Francisco, like right below them.
Yeah.
And no order in particular on either Vancouver or San Francisco, but I think this might be finally the one time that we've seen so far this year that New York is like truly capable of being that elite team that can beat anybody.
And they're playing like it. And they're playing. The thing is they're playing focused. They're not playing too careful. But they're not playing overly.
They're not playing overly aggressive, and
they're playing their style.
They're playing their style, and that's the biggest thing. And I don't know if anybody can take them out of their style.
Because
is the biggest key with this.
I think Vancouver's. I think they're 1 and 1A is Vancouver, then San Francisco, and then Atlanta's close. So Atlanta could beat all 4 of those teams. They really could in this meta. They have to get by Hangzhou though.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Hangzhou's a weird. Didn't we say that before? That we're like, what? Hangzhou's a weird
X Factor team of like if they really come together and get everything together, they can beat anybody too.
Yeah.
But it's really just a key of them being able to do that, and I have the least faith in them being able to accomplish that.
Yeah. Well, right now I have least faith in the Gladiators just because they're going up against San Francisco.
That too. Yeah.
It's just a matchup thing.
Yeah.
But I want to see what New York does against a hyper-aggressive team like Vancouver. That's going to be such a match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're good against teams that are kind of, Atlanta's pretty aggressive too, but they're not Vancouver aggressive.
Right.
But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, right now,
the biggest thing I want to say for this whole weekend, though, is anybody that's complaining about this playoff format, just shut up.
Why are you complaining about this?
Right. There are people that are like, why'd they change it? Why isn't it the best 2 out of 3 matches or whatever?
Because that was long and bullshit.
Yeah, it was boring as hell, and like this is so much more.
And it worked better in a 12-team thing to draw out the playoffs a little bit more and give you a little bit more.
Exactly. But now that you have the right amount of teams, double elimination is far superior, and this is exactly why.
Yeah.
The games that we are getting have been top notch
because it's desperation.
I love it.
You have to win this. Mm-hmm. I mean, winner's bracket not as much, but you still want to win this game because you have to.
Because you get the incentive is that if you win out, you play less games.
Yeah.
Versus playing like 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really
San Francisco's got potentially they got to get out of that losers bracket, and I'm calling it losers.
They have to win like what 4 games?
Yeah, they have to beat the Gladiators, and then they have to win on Saturday, and then they have to win on Sunday.
Yeah, and they already
have to play 3 games this weekend to get out of the losers bracket, which is the way it should be.
Yep.
But
they're a team that is completely capable of that, and if they get there, then they 100% deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And that's really the best that you can ask for is just getting the best matchups possible.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't understand double elimination tournament, yes, there is a possibility a team with 1 loss in the playoffs could beat the team that's undefeated. It's the way it is. It's the way it works. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you went through the gauntlet and you're undefeated, you should beat the team that lost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, that's on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week we got the Thursday. We'll just go over the schedule really quick. Thursday, we're starting Thursday. We have Atlanta, Hangzhou. Reasonable times this week instead of at 9 and midnight.
Right.
We have Atlanta, Hangzhou. Then we have Gladiators and San Francisco at 10. Then Friday we have the big match, the winners bracket between Vancouver and New York. And then Saturday we get out of the way the first part of the losers bracket, and then Sunday we have the final losers bracket match. Mm-hmm. And we'll dive into this week. We're going to do our preview video of that. Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to thank everybody that's joined us on Twitch. Glaze, don't get too domed. It's all right. A little early to get that domed, but that was about half an hour ago. But maybe he's a Browns fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of alcohol being consumed here right now.
Yeah. It was like somebody shot somebody's dog here.
It really was.
It was like, yay.
It was not a fun day.
Well, yeah, and anyone that thinks they're not going to come back is just, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
It's one game. Much like my fantasy teams will be fine.
Right. Just like, Lamar Miller and the Ravens are not going to put up 52 points on everybody. They played probably the worst roster in the entire NFL.
They played the fucking Dolphins, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
And
that's what I love. Like, oh man, Ravens going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to go 16-0. No.
Yeah. There's one team that's going to go 16-0, and it's the same team that does it close every year. Yeah. And
so all of it's not going to matter anyway.
Yeah, and the first person that starts complaining about, they have a shit division. Well, that's not on them. These teams have had 20 fucking years to catch up to the Patriots, and they're all a bunch of dumbasses.
And they think that just hiring the assistant coaches out from him is the way to do it.
Yeah, and picking up half-dead players from other teams.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, you guys aren't Belichick. You can't bring people back from the dead, basically.
Yeah. They have 4 wide receivers on that team that were literally garbage.
Yeah.
Well, not garbage, but, just nothing.
Yeah.
Here they are. Okay. The only legit draft pick that they made on offense is Sony Michel.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's not doing anything. James White has like 10 catches tonight already.
Yeah. Good luck with that in fantasy, trying to figure that out. It's Belichick, so we'll rotate him in.
That's about the one thing that you can consistently get is he's always going to throw to guys like that.
Yeah.
Brady loves his check down guys.
Yeah, because every once in a while it's like, oh, that guy hasn't gotten a touch because everybody else is open. I'll just throw it to him. Anyway. All right, enough talk about Tom.
Tommy Brady.
Tom fucking Brady. Dom, if you're listening,
God.
hello.
Yeah, Dom, we're talking about your favorite player.
Oh, he's going to be foul tomorrow. He's going to be like the rest of you people.
Oof. Yeah. Well, he knows his team is going to be trash this year.
Yeah.
We already had that discussion as soon as they traded Tunsil.
Yeah, that was we're rebuilding.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're trying to rebuild, but for the 15th time in the last 10 years.
That's not surprising at all. Washington is a horrible team, and I mean, oh God, don't get me started on that team.
Yeah, I said fucking Deshaun Jackson, 32 points.
I had Marquise Brown on my bench. He had 30. So
yeah, and your boy in the podcaster league, your boys did me wrong. It's because they started every fucking drive at 1st and 25 or something.
Right.
Woof. All right, guys. So enough football talk. So that's going to be it. Thanks a lot for joining us. If you're on YouTube, thanks a lot for joining in. Everybody that's joined us on Twitch tonight. We were not on Mixer tonight. There was a technical issue with that, but you know, like you guys care, you're watching on something else. Anyone that's listening to this on a podcatcher, you know, whether you're listening it on Spotify, iTunes, thanks a lot for all the listens and, you know, checking us out. Please hit a review. You know, tell us what you like. You know, keep the conversation going. Also, everybody that's on YouTube watching this later on or tomorrow, thank you very much for all of your support over the last couple of years. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, if you're new, hit a like, hit a subscribe. You'll get you know, alerts, and hit the bell. You get alerts to when we come on, when we post videos, and when we talk about, you know, Overwatch League, which is, you know, what we do all the time. We're gonna start doing some more streaming, gaming streaming. You know, whether it's individually or, you know, together. You know, Overwatch, other things. You know, whatever we're doing, we're gonna do some other stuff like that. And you know, I'm gonna want to talk Overwatch League 2 while we're doing that. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anytime you guys want to talk about that when we're on, just bring it up. Or whatever game we're playing. I've been diving into TFT. I'm in mid bronze right now because I just started when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm actually kind of enjoying the grind up, so I might stream some of that if you guys want to watch some of that, and watch me fucking around on YouTube and me and Kel actually playing normal games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I might back out. I'll see if I can dig up one of those things so I can stream me playing some Switch games.
There you go.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Maybe we'll stream some Heroes of the Storm.
Oh God.
See, now there's okay. Before we go off, now there's, if you want to do an auto chess, why don't Blizzard do an auto chess off of that?
There you go.
I mean, you could do it.
You might be working on it. Who
knows? That could be the big fucking BlizzCon thing.
Oh God.
We have auto chess.
Yes.
And the Diablo one. So no mobile game.
You guys wanted Teamfight Tactics Diablo, right?
But
you guys have phones, right?
Yeah. But Diablo's in there. And we have
it's there. What you
we have
guys
Malthael in there, and we have, you know.
Oh God!
For all you WoW people, we have Arthas. Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
That's gonna do it. Thanks
for
a lot.
joining us, guys. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Catch you on the next one. Later.